Rolling.
Good morning, we're back here and 25th of May I think today, and this colony is colony 4 that we followed a long way through since we started doing these videos. We split it about 3 weeks or so ago, maybe slightly more now, and I'm hoping today that we might see a queen, evidence of a queen. We've seen that the queen cells opened. I'm seeing pollen going in. I'm kind of hopeful that we might have turned the corner and this colony might be queen right again. So remember, it's on top of a stack of others. It's on top of a colony underneath, which is coming on quite strongly as well after we divided it, and it's queen right. To the extent that I'm standing on a box to be able to check this hive, and that is one of the snags of doing this Snelgrove thing, is that it gets a bit tall. So we're going to go through, and I'm hoping on the central frames, if I saw a queen, I'd be overjoyed. If I see eggs or evidence of her, I'll be happy. So outside frame, good honey stores, terrific. Wasn't expecting anything else. While I'm here, I've got a pen and I've got my marking kit, so I'm just going to sit that ready, because if I see her and it's in my pocket, by the time I've found it, I'll have lost her again. That's one thing, when the weather gets hot, blob these pens first, because you can get a real nasty blob come out of paint, and you do not want to be doing that on the queen. You want a little dot on her and not a great big blob. So it's well worth, I'm not trying to paint the hive or paint the queen, I'm just trying to put a dot on her. So check the pens on a hot day, because they can flood. Cheers. So I know from the angle at Neil's that's probably a little bit tricky to see. I'll try and tilt stuff this way. So a pollen frame there with some honey stores. And as I say, you can wait up to a month from the time that queen emerges before you can see eggs. We're short of that. So I'm hopeful, but there's no guarantee, and if we didn't see eggs today, we just have to come back to next week. But eggs are notoriously tough to spot at the best of times. We've got a nice sunnyish day here, which helps, and the comb isn't too old and dirty, which also helps. But the first clue you get is when you see eggs, and normally it'll be in the very central frames. So the frames I'm going through at the moment are the less likely ones, but they're always worth checking. The queen normally will start in the centre, but you've probably learnt with bees now, there ain't anything that's for sure. So if I didn't find something in the next 4 frames, then okay, and I'm pretty sure I'm seeing eggs. Only a small patch in the middle of this frame. I'm just going to check the other side. Nothing I can see that side, so I think I'm seeing eggs, but it's a tiny patch on that frame. But because we're still not quite in the centre, the chances are she may have laid up the next frame as well. Okay, there's definitely eggs in here now. I'm just going to check the queen's not on this frame. Oh, and there's the queen. So here's my cage, and that's over her now. I'm just going to lay it down. Now, don't mark a virgin queen. Where the hell did I put the pen? Back in my pocket. That was a smart thing. On with the dot. And wait. And wait. That was handy. Don't mark virgin queens. The virgin's pheromones aren't so strong, and that might mean that they'll attack her more if she's got a strange smell on her and she doesn't smell like a queen. Even when she is a queen and laying, and I've seen eggs now, you get this sweet spot where most of the old brood's hatched out, the new brood hasn't come forward, so you've got the lowest number of bees you'll have for the rest of the season. It's a great moment to get in there and mark her if you can, because there'll be less bees. That should have dried now. Off it comes. And there we go. Off she goes. One thing to keep in mind is very occasionally queens, when they get stressed, play dead. So if you ever take your cage off and the queen just sort of flops over or lies there and doesn't move, don't assume you just killed her. Like a lot of animals, they do have a defense of last resort, which is play dead and they'll go away. So occasionally if you think you've hurt the queen, you probably might, it's possible you have, but it's also possible just give her a minute and you'll see her kind of sneak off again. I did it a few years ago and it scared the pants off me. I thought I killed the queen, but she was fine. And I've seen it happen since, just once since, and it's like, I've seen that trick before, I know that one. I'm not going to play not with that one. But it is a worrying moment if you mark a queen and think you killed her. So I'm just going to go on now to determine the extent of the brood. All we've seen is eggs so far. We've got some eggs on this frame as well, but we've got no larvae, a couple of queen cups, so she's only started laying within the last 2 or 3 days. And the clue I had was we saw pollen going in. So we've got 2.5 frames of brood there. Doubt we'll see brood on this one as well. There's a little bit of old brood here. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. There's eggs on this one as well. A small patch, but there are eggs here as well. So in total, there's probably eggs on about 3 frames, which if she's only started laying in the last 2 or 3 days, ain't bad going. So we've got another colony. We've split it. The bottom half's queenright and doing all right, and the top half is now got a laying queen in. We've also got a laying queen in our nuke box. Happy days. That's it.